Namaste everyone. Welcome to online classes. Let us solve some numerical problems. The first problem, find the voltage drop across each resistor in the following circuit. The series combination of resistors is given. The series combination of resistors is connected to a source of voltage 40 volt. So the resistors, the values of resistance is given, it's 10 ohm, 6 ohm and 4 ohm. They are connected in series. So find the voltage drop across each resistor. You have to find out what is the voltage drop across each resistor in this particular circuit. So how to solve this problem? See, if I know the current, see in the series combination, current through each component, each resistor is same, right? Okay, in series combination, current through each resistor is the same. So if I calculate the value of current flowing through the circuit, I can calculate what is the voltage drop across each resistor, because the current flowing through each resistor is known, right? Resistance of each resistor is given. So therefore calculate the voltage drop or potential difference across each resistor using Ohm's law, that is using the formula V is equal to IR. Okay, so voltage drop, say this resistance is R1, the voltage drop across R1 is V1, say this is R2, voltage drop across R2 is V2, this is R3, voltage drop across R3 is V3. Okay, so this is the main voltage, which is equal to 40 volt. Okay, so now how to calculate I? So find out the effective value of resistance. This combination, series combination of resistors acts as a single resistor of resistance Rs, which is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, because in series combination effective or equivalent value of resistance is given by the sum of individual resistances. Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. So therefore effective value of resistance or equivalent value of resistance Rs is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, which is equal to 10 plus 6 plus 4, that is 20 ohm. This is the value of Rs, effective value of resistance. Okay, now the circuit is simplified to, this is Rs, source voltage is 40 volt and current is I. Now find out the value of I, the main current. The current I can be calculated using V is equal to I into Rs. V is equal to, this is V, I into Rs using Ohm's law. So V is 40 volt, therefore I is equal to, okay, substitute here, V is equal to 40, I is unknown, Rs is 20. So therefore this implies I is equal to 40 by 20, that is 2 ampere. So once you get the value of I, the current flowing through the circuit is 2 ampere. What is voltage across each resistor now? Current flowing through R1 is also 2 ampere. Current flowing through R2 is also 2 ampere. Current flowing through R3 is also 2 ampere. Right? Because in series combination, the current flowing through each component or resistor is same. So therefore, now what is the voltage PD across the first resistor V1, that is I into R1, which is equal to, so 2 into R1 is 10, is 20 ohm. So V2 is I into R2, which is equal to I is 2, R2 is 6, This is 20 volt, right? So V2 is equal to I into R2. I is 2 ampere, R2 is 6, this is 12 volt, and V3 I into R3, which is equal to I is 2 ampere, R3 is 4 ohm, this is 8 volt. Okay, so therefore potential drop across the resistors respectively, so 20 volt, 12 volt and 8 volt. Okay, so sum of these three voltage across individual resistor, if they are added, you will get the net voltage, that is 20 plus 12 plus 8, that is 40 volt. V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 in series combination, right? V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Current flowing through each resistor is same. The effective resistance is R1 plus R2 plus R3. Okay, so this is one simple problem. So next we move on to the next problem. Find the effective resistance, main current and current through each resistor in the following circuit. So the parallel combination of resistors is given. Okay, so three resistors are connected in parallel. That the three resistors are R1, R2 and R3. The voltage, the source voltage is say 24 volt. The main current, let it be I, current drawn by the parallel combination of resistors from the cell is I. Current flowing through each branch, each resistor is say I1, I2 and I3. This I1 is the current flowing through R1, I2 is current flowing through R2 and I3 is the current flowing through R3. Okay, so now here in parallel combination, what is the effective value of resistance? Effective value of resistance 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. What about the current? Current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Here the voltage V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Here current I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. What about the voltage across each component, each resistor is same. That is 24 volt itself, right? Okay, so voltage across each resistor is same. See, find the effective value of resistance. Okay, first one is the effective value of resistance. So how to calculate the effective value of resistance? Rp, using the formula 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. Using effective value of resistance can be calculated using the formula 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. That is equal to 1 by R1. R1 is 12, R2 is 4, R3 is 6. The LCM is 12. Here it is 1, here it is 3, here it is 2. This is 1 by Rp. So therefore 1 by Rp is equal to 1 by Rp is equal to, so 6 by 12. So therefore Rp is equal to 12 by 6, that is 2. Okay, the effective value of resistance is 2. Okay, right, now the circuit is reduced to, this is Rp which is connected to the source. The current flowing through Rp is I, right? Because effective value, the definition of effective value of resistance, what is the definition of effective value of resistance? It is the resistance which can be, now this combination is replaced by this particular resistance Rp such that it draws the same amount of current as the combination does. So therefore this is effective value of resistance. If the combination is drawing I amount of current from the source, then the effective value of resistance Rp of the combination should also draw the same amount of current from the same applied voltage. So therefore, using this, how to calculate the I, main current. Second one is main current. Main current, that is current drawn by the combination I, can be calculated. So V is equal to I into Rp. So V is 24, I is unknown, you have to calculate. What is Rp? Rp is 2. Sorry, yeah, 2. So therefore I is equal to 24 by 2, that is 12 ampere. That is the current I flowing through the combination, that is the main current drawn by the combination, that is 12 ampere. What is the current flowing through each resistor now? How to calculate I1? See, potential drop across R1 is V itself, that is 24 volt, using Ohm's law. Okay, so third one. So V1 is equal to, sorry, V is equal, using Ohm's law, V is equal to I1 into R1, right? So V is 24, I1 is not known, R1 is 12, so I1 is 2 ampere. So similarly, V is equal to, for the second resistor R2 of resistance 4 ohm, V is equal to I2 R2, V is 24, I2 is unknown, but R2 is 4. So I2 is equal to 6 ampere. Okay, next is for the third resistor, V is equal to I3 into R3. V is 24, I3 is not known, R3 is 6 ohm. So therefore, I3 is equal to 4 ampere. Okay, I1, I2, I3. So sum of these three currents should be equal to the main current. I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Just verify. We should get the main current itself. 2 plus 6 plus 4, that is 12 ampere. See here, the main current. Okay, so this is also a simple problem. Okay, so effective value of resistance you can calculate using this formula, which comes out to be 2 ohm. The main current is 12 ampere, and the branch currents, current through individual resistors, are I1, that is 2 ampere, 6 ampere, and 4 ampere. Sum of these three currents should be equal to the main current I, because I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So next we derive the expression for power loss in a conductor. In a conductor or resistor. What is the expression for power loss, power dissipated in the form of heat? Okay, this is called Joule heating. So we derive the expression for power loss. So consider a conductor of resistance R. So resistance of the conductor is R, which is connected to a source, to a battery or a cell, of potential difference V. So current flowing through the conductor is I. So where R is the resistance of the conductor, V is the potential difference across the ends of the conductor, I is the current flowing through the conductor. say this end is A, this end is B. The potential at this end is say VA and potential at this end is VB. It is potential B at this end. Therefore, we have written VB. It is not V into A or V into B. It is potential at this end. Therefore, V at A, potential at B. So, V at B. So, what is the potential difference? It is V, which is equal to VA minus VB, right? Okay, let delta Q is amount of charge flowing in a time interval of delta T from end A to end B. Okay, I take the delta Q is amount of charge flowing. Since the current is flowing through the conductor, let delta Q is amount of charge flowing from this end to this end in a time interval of delta T seconds. Now, it's the potential energy of this particular charge delta Q changes, okay, as the charge flows from this end to this end. Delta Q is the amount of charge is flowing, which is flowing from end A to B. So, when the charge flows from A to B, its potential energy changes because potential at this point and this point are different. So, therefore, what is the change in potential energy? See, this is at higher potential, this end is at higher potential, this end is at lower potential. Current flows from higher potential to lower potential, right? Okay, so higher potential to lower potential. Current is always flowing from higher potential to lower potential, or positive charges flow from higher potential to lower potential. So, as the charge delta Q flows from A to B, its potential energy changes or decreases. What is the decrease in potential energy? So, decrease in potential energy is equal to, or change in potential energy. If I write decrease in potential energy, I should write plus something. I have to take only the magnitude. If I write change in potential energy, I have to write negative. Change in potential energy. Change in potential energy means final potential energy minus initial potential energy. How to calculate potential energy at this end or this end? So, amount of charge flowing is delta Q. Potential at this point is VB. So, therefore, you have to multiply delta Q with the VB, right? Say potential at this point is V. Say if I place a charge Q here, what is the potential energy of charge at this point? It is Q into V. Okay, because potential at this point is nothing but potential energy of unit positive charge. If Q is equal to 1 plus 1 coulomb, then potential energy of that charge is called potential at that point. Okay, if the amount of charge is delta Q, then potential energy will be delta Q into potential at that point. So, therefore, change in potential energy is equal to, so final potential energy minus initial potential energy, which is equal to, so delta Q is common, VB minus VA. So, VB is less than VA, therefore it is negative. Delta Q is common, therefore this is minus delta Q into V. Okay, V is negative, not delta Q here, because from here to here, you are calculating the potential at this point with respect to this. You should get negative, because potential at this point with respect to this is positive. Okay, so this is a decrease in potential energy. As a charge reach to this end B, okay, so potential energy decreases. Now it is equal to the gained kinetic energy of the charge, right? Delta Q is the amount of charge flowing from end the A to B. As soon as it reaches the point B or end B, what about the gained kinetic energy? That is, ideally speaking, if I take the ideal case, so then this is equal to the gained potential energy. So change in kinetic energy is equal to gained kinetic energy. Change in kinetic energy will be equal to plus delta Q into V. Okay, right? Because change in potential energy is converted into change in kinetic energy now. That is equal to loss in potential energy is converted into gained kinetic energy. So this is ideal case. But since there is a collision, the kinetic energy of charges do not increase. Okay, does not increase. So kinetic energy of charges does not increase because of collision. Due to collision, the gained kinetic energy is lost in the form of heat. That is called Joule heating. Okay, so the electrical energy is dissipated in the form of heat. So amount of work done in transferring the charges delta Q from end A to B is equal to, therefore, delta Q into V. Okay, so amount of work done in transferring the charge from A to B is equal to delta Q into V. Okay, so that is equal to, ideally it is equal to the gained kinetic energy, but due to the collision of the charges with the ions, so that gained kinetic energy is lost in the form of heat. So therefore this is expression for the loss in electrical energy, okay, during the charge flow from end A to end B. Okay, so what about delta Q? But delta Q, since current I is delta Q by delta T, since delta Q is amount of charge flowing in a time interval of delta T seconds, current is delta Q by delta T, which implies delta Q is equal to I delta T. So if I substitute here delta W, which is equal to I delta T into V. Okay, right. Okay, so the work done in moving the charges is equal to electrical energy dissipated in the form of heat, which is called Joule heating. Now what is the electrical power dissipated? That is electrical energy dissipated per unit time. Say this is equation 2. This is expression for electrical energy dissipated in a time interval of delta T seconds. So therefore, what is the electrical power dissipated? Electrical power dissipated is nothing but electrical energy dissipated per unit time. Okay, so in reality that the gained kinetic energy is lost in the form of heat. So amount of work in transferring the charge from here to here is dissipated in the form of heat. So electrical energy dissipated per in a time interval of delta T seconds is delta W. Therefore, what is electrical power dissipated? That is electrical energy dissipated per unit time. Therefore, P is equal to delta W by delta T. So electrical power P is equal to delta W by delta T. So therefore, this is equal to, what is delta W? Delta W is I delta T into V divided by delta T, which is equal to V into I. So this is expression for power loss in case of a conductor. Okay, so the electrical energy dissipated is called ohmic loss. So this the expression for power loss in terms of voltage or potential difference and current flowing is P is equal to V into I. So but V is equal to I into R. Since the conductor has a resistance R, current flowing through it is I, right? So therefore V is equal to I into R. Therefore this equation becomes now P is equal to, so IR into I, which is equal to I square R. Okay, right. This is another expression for power in terms of current and resistance. Okay, but V is equal to IR, so that implies I is equal to V by R. So equation 4 becomes P is equal to I square, that is V square by R square into R, which is equal to V square by R. So this is expression for power in terms of potential difference and resistance. Okay, right. So what is the source of power? The power consumed in an electrical device, any electrical appliance, is supplied by the external connected source, okay, which is maybe a cell or battery or dynamo, right? So that is the source of power, an external connected source of EMF. Okay. So next we discuss how to minimize the power loss in transmission cables. So electrical transmission cables have the finite value of resistance. So how this power can be minimized? Power loss can be minimized. Minimizing the power loss in transmission cables. See, the electrical power generated at the power stations is transmitted to say factories, homes, schools, and for different purposes, which are situated at hundreds of kilometers away from the power stations. And this power is transmitted using the transmission cables. Since the electrical transmission cables have the finite value of resistance, the finite value of current is lost, or power is lost in the form of heat. Okay, so to reduce or to minimize the power loss, the current is transmitted through the transmission cables at a very high voltage. Okay, so consider a device of resistance R. Consider any electrical appliance or a device of resistance R, to which power delivered is power that should be delivered is say P. Okay, to operate the device, P is the power required, the resistance of the device, let it be R. The operating voltage is a V and the operating current is a I, are the voltage and current required Let V and I are the voltage and current respectively required for the operation of the P, the operation of a device. Okay. Alright. So, what is the power? P is equal to, that is the voltage into current. The expression for power is voltage into the current. Let RC be the resistance of the transmission cable. Let RC be the resistance of the transmission cable. Due to the finite value of resistance of the transmission cable, the power loss in transmission cable is, say, PC, which is equal to I square RC, where I is the current flowing through that transmission, that particular transmission cable. Okay. So the power dissipated in the transmission cable is PC, which is equal to I square RC. Now using equation 1, I can write I is equal to P by V. So substitute in equation 2. So substituting in equation 2, so PC is equal to I square, so that is P by V whole square into RC, that is equal to P square RC divided by V square. Therefore, power dissipated in the transmission cable, that is electrical energy dissipated per unit time in transmission cable, is inversely proportional to the square of the voltage. Okay. So therefore, the power loss in transmission cable can be minimized by increasing the value of voltage. So therefore, the transmission cables carry the current with or at a very high voltage. Okay. So this can be achieved using step-up transformer at the power stations. At the power stations, using step-up transformer, voltage is increased to a very high value, which lowers the current, and thereby the electrical energy is transmitted through the transmission cable with a very high voltage. But at the receiving end, using if we use that much of a very high voltage at the receiving end, it is not safe. Okay, so therefore the voltage that should be reduced to a desired value using step down transformer. Okay, so using a high voltage at the receiving end is not safe, therefore we reduce this particular voltage transmitted by the power station using a step down transformer to a desired value. Okay, so the power loss, therefore power loss in transmission cables can be minimized by increasing the voltage. Okay.